there are like a couple of visible impacts of climate change. We can count one major visible impacts. One is drought, second one the flooding, and third one is the wildfires. Okay, so can you explain one by one how these things happen because of the climate change? At your extent of knowledge, how much you know?
Yeah. So basically, droughts happen if there's like extreme temperatures in any of the areas. So mostly in desert areas, we observe that droughts are like very common, but that has been happening for years to come now. People in the desert areas normally depend on rains for their areas, but it does not because of the physical or the geographical conditions over there. Basically, for rains to fall, you need to have a good amount of vegetation. You need to have trees around there. That's how we can make sure. That's why in rainforests, you have a lot of rain because there's a plenty full of trees over there. But in the desert regions, you don't find that. So basically, droughts are happening because of that very reason. There are extreme level of temperatures, and there's uh, a lot of increase in deforestation. So any place that you see where there's deforestation happening, you will see that there are droughts happening as well. And you'll also see that the groundwater level over there is also decreasing because the roots are not able to basically hold on to the soil. So there's soil erosion happening, there's groundwater level being decreased in those areas. And deforestation again happens for a lot of reasons, mostly obviously because of human reasons itself, like for farming or animal husbandry, building up industries, or building houses for ourselves. But that's basically what happens. If deforestation and increasing temperatures is one of the biggest reasons for droughts. For flooding, again, temperatures play a really huge role. But then in this case, it, it melts the ice, and that's how you get a lot of flooding. And it's not just the ice melting that creates the flooding, there's also a lot of geography associated with it. A lot of movement underneath the ocean floor also creates a lot of floods, because that's something that we leave to the technicians, because I don't know much about that. I just know that if you have observed ever how tsunamis happen, is basically there's an earthquake underneath the ocean on the ocean floor. That's how tsunamis happen. So flooding is also at times a result of that. So any sort of movement beneath the sea level, basically beneath the sea, sorry, not the sea level, basically underneath the sea, that also creates droughts.
Tectonic plates move up and down.
Exactly, movement in tectonic plates, that's important. And if we talk about wildfires, there's like a big reason for that, again, being high temperatures. But most of the times wildfires are mostly man-made, because people want to clear the area. Again, deforestation, basically they want to clear the area for farmlands. That is what keeps happening. So that's why wildfires are primarily man-made. And there have been like so many speculations, even again for the Australian wildfires or the wildfires in the Amazon forest. There have been so many speculations whether these are man-made or whether these natural. There are a lot of debates going on, but it can be either of the reasons. Scorching temperatures definitely are a reason. We cannot deny that. If there is an increase in temperature in that area, it is going to affect the forest. But it is usually man-made as well. People need to know that too. So if it is a man-made activity, it's something in our hands. So we need to think about it, what we are doing, what we are not doing.
I was reading something about the wildfires. So there are a couple of people saying that it's natural as well, like it's nature's way of getting rid of old trees. So it's not like we
It
started.
is.
Uh,
Yeah,
wildfire
definitely.
started on its own. So don't completely blame on humans. People are saying that. So how much?
Yeah, they do. I mean, yeah, but I mean, you need to realize how much of it is true. If it is, I mean, fires do happen naturally, and it is nature's way of getting rid of old trees. But if you are seeing that a huge expanse of the forest is on fire, and there's nothing happening about it, and it's getting news and media coverage, and it's taking so long to put that fire out. It basically, that there were a lot of speculations about the Amazon forest wildfire, because they were talking about how their president wanted a lot of, like, basically ordered on how they wanted land for farming, or wanted land for something, which is why they decided to clear a part of that forest out, which is not a good sign. And it's not only about the trees over there. There are also a lot of tribal families living in those forests. You're basically taking away all the human lives in there, you're taking away their livelihoods, you're killing a lot of animal species too. Because if there is a natural wildfire in the forest, animals know how to get rid of it and how to keep themselves safe. But this was something very unprecedented. So,
So the dry areas keep on increasing, so it's becoming out of control.
it's becoming out of control. Even if it was natural, we definitely have some role to play over there, so that there's so many trees drying out. And it's a rainforest. In the rainforest, trees don't dry out. That's basically the logic behind it, because they're green. They're green all the time. They're mostly evergreen trees over there. So they're green all 12 months a year. So you can imagine on what scale it happened.
So for the people who don't know, Amazon rainforest produces 21% of Earth's oxygen, right? So that's why it's called the lungs of Earth.
Lungs of the earth, yeah.
About that Amazon rainforest cutting. So I was reading a report on that. So basically that's happening because the commercial farming of animals. So what is happening is meat consumption is increasing day by day. So we'll come on to that.
Exactly.
Diet and all this later.